Rachel, and I'm coming to you from just outside Sacramento, California. This is episode, I think it's 22. This is where I talk about my knitting, different projects I'm working on, and then just life things, what I'm watching, what I'm reading. So thanks for sharing a bit of time with me. If you're a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's around the 1st of June. It's actually like the 2nd or 3rd. So this is usually where I kind of talk about things that happened in the later part of May and plans for June. However, we didn't have a mid-month check-in for May. Life just got busy. We had people coming in and going. So it just got really hard to record an episode. So instead of trying to kind of fill in blanks and talk about stuff I've finished or stuff I've worked on, we're just gonna start fresh from June. So Summer Sock Camp, hosted by the Crazy Sock Lady, is on. It started, I want to say last week before. So I have a lot of plans for Summer Sock Camp. In years past, I have dropped everything I was working on and only did socks. So last year I did 11 pairs of socks. For reference, those are like full-size pairs. I think I had 1 or 2 shorties. And I wear a size women's US 9.5 to 10. So my foot is not dainty and small. So it takes a bit of time to like knit myself a pair of socks, but I did 11 pairs of socks last year. So I like to do just as many, if maybe just a little bit more. However, I do have some other projects going on, specifically 2 that are for knit-alongs. And one of them, the deadline is coming up, I want to say like next week. So I can't just drop everything and only knit socks for the next 120 days. So I'm going to show you things I have in progress and then kind of my plans for the rest of Summer Sock Camp. So that goes from May 28th to like August something. It's 120 days exactly. So a lot of time to knit a lot of socks. But I just kind of wanted to pace myself a little bit and then really be intentional about what I picked to work on. So to start off, let me show you what I have in progress. First off is my Bibliophile 2 sweater. I've shown this to you guys in various stages, but here it is in all its beautiful glory. I've got the whole body done. I've got the first sleeve done, and I am working on the second sleeve. So all that's left is that second sleeve, weave in all my ends, and then block it, and I'm done. This is like the end of the make along is the 9th. So it's like due the 9th. Honestly, I'm kind of done, like mentally done. Not that I don't enjoy this pattern. I really enjoy this pattern. I think it's because I have other things I want to do instead, but I need to finish this in time for the make along. The yarn I'm using is Explore Knits on, I don't think I have a tag. Let me check my bag. No, it's close to Moher on their DK weight. Let me show you the skein. So it's got this beautiful grays, blues, greens. So this is from her Ireland collection, I think from last year. So I love the way it's been knitting up. I love these deep colors. That is just, those are all like my colors. You know, you always talk about like the colors that you wear or that like your colors. I definitely go for deeper, dark jewel tones. Pastels are not my colors, but I love all the colors in this sweater. So I want to be finished so I can wear it. But it's just taking me a little more time than I wanted. And I know why specifically, because I cast on too many projects at one time. I try to only cast on like one big project and then like a pair of socks or 2 at a time, just so that I am kind of forced to finish things. And when I cast on that sweater, I also cast on my Soho top and my garter snake cowl. So I'm just not spending a lot of time on any project, which then means nothing gets done. So that one is prioritized. I'm doing about 20 rounds of the sleeve every day. So I should have it done by the 9th. So it's possible it'll get done, but it's just, I'm ready to move on to other projects. But I also don't like letting projects just sit. That also seems like wasteful to me. So anyways, working on that. All right, so I currently have 3 pairs of socks that are cast on right now. And I'm probably gonna cast on another pair of socks tonight. But let me tell you about the 3 different pairs of socks I have. So first off, I have, let me move some of these bags. Okay. So first off, I have this pair of socks that were commissioned by Gwen of Filato. And she is an amazing dyer. She's such a lovely person. I got to do a sock swap with her last Christmas. So I'm doing some striped socks for her. So part of the package that they sent me were 2 sets of mini skeins. One that had 10 mini skeins and one that had 6. The 10 mini skeins, those colors haven't been released yet, which is why I've been posting a lot of black and white pictures on my Instagram, because I can't show you those colors. But these colors I can show you. These are the most neon colors ever. I love it. These are like colors I want to eat, like candy or like cotton candy or ice cream. I love these colors. So I chose to leave them in rainbow form, which is how they were in the packet. I just thought they looked beautiful. I think this set of minis, I think it's called her summer mini set. It's in her shop right now. I think if you match it with like gray or black, you can get some really fun textures. You can mix up the colors and I think that would look gorgeous, but I left them as is. So I knit my sock and the pattern is called, I think it's called Mix It Up by this Handmade Life. So knit the sock and I put in place markers for my heel. So where that like red line is, that's where I'm going to cut in my heel. And I just haven't done it yet because I wanted to knit my other sock and then see kind of what I have left to make sure I have enough yarn for both socks and the heels. So first sock is done. Second sock is well on its way. I love the look of like stripy socks. I don't like working with mini skeins, and I've just realized that now. Working with mini skeins is just a little time consuming because you have to weave in your ends either as you go or at the end. I'm weaving these in as I go. But there's just a lot of like yarn management, and with socks, I just kind of want to just knit. But I'm really enjoying these colors. I'm really enjoying this pattern. So that's what I'm working on now. So I'm hoping to finish these like this weekend and the next couple days so I can get them blocked and sent back to Gwen so she can have those for her stuff. So that's the first pair. The next pair I cast on are my summer sock camp socks. So let me talk a little bit about summer sock camp. So in years past, Kay has done like really loose, just knit alongs, and then she's done some very structured knit alongs with like cabins and like points, and if you use certain patterns you got extra points, and so it's gone from either really complicated to just really relaxed. And this year she went with really relaxed. You just have to knit socks. You can have whips and any size, any yarn, like thickness, and we're just knitting socks, which has been great. I really look forward to summer sock camp because it really pushes me to get through my sock yarn. I have quite a bit of sock yarn. This year I'm trying to not buy any new yarn. So this really pushes me to work what I have, which has been great. So I went through my box of yarn stash and I pulled out everything. And then I went through and put back everything that were like sets. So I have like 2-3 skeins that were meant to be kind of used together. And then I just went through and I pulled out all the ones that I really want to knit. So after some finagling, I came down to 12 and I was like still finalizing choices today. But I narrowed it down to 12 plus the 4 skeins of my Yarn Club for the Gods. And then instead of just like trying to cast them all in at once, I have enough needles probably for like 8 pairs of socks, but that's a lot for anybody. So I broke them up into groups. So my first group are 3 different yarns, and I'll show you. The first group is this one. This is Cabin Retreat by Woolberry, and I'll talk more about that one in a minute. This one, which is Glitter Bomb, I don't know how well that'll pick up, by Spun Right Round, and the stripy socks I just showed you. So I'm doing 4 rounds of 3 skeins. So let's talk a little more in depth about round 1. So we talked about the striped socks. I cast on Glitter Bomb by Spun Right Round. Like I said, I got this for my birthday 3 years ago. And I love like really crazy colors for socks, but not for like clothes. So I probably wouldn't wear this like as a top, but I definitely would wear this in socks. So I went with a just plain vanilla sock, nothing fancy. We're just knitting a sock. So I've got most of it done. So here's the heel, it's upside down. Let me turn it around for you. There we go. So cuff is done, leg is done, heel is done, and I'm working on the foot. So having a vanilla sock is really nice, at least for me, where I take my socks places, because I can, like, if I'm watching a lecture, I can knit on this. If I'm sitting in church, I struggle to like pay attention. I can knit and listen at the same time. Taekwondo classes, my kids take Taekwondo. I'm taking these socks because I don't have to think hard. I just have to knit, and I can knit without looking at my hands. So it doesn't take a ton for me to work on these. So first sock is almost done. I have maybe about 2 more inches and then I'll start the toe. So I'm shooting to work about 10 rounds a day. I'm definitely did way more than that, but that's kind of like my bare minimum is 10 rounds. So that has been great. That's just moving right along. And then, like I said, this was Cabin Retreat, and a couple years ago, Woolberry did like their virtual retreat. It was all on Zoom. They had a couple different speakers. And one of the things was you got to dye your own skein of yarn with Bethany from Woolberry. So they sent like a kit with all the things. And so I dyed this my own self. Everyone got the same colors. So it was like a navy, a gray, and then like a copper speckle. But like I got to do all the dyeing. So I got to pick how much speckling, where I wanted to place color. So that was such a great class. So I've been saving this, waiting to cast on. I'm going to cast this on today. I have a new set of needles coming in today from Amazon that I've never worked with before. So I kind of wanted to wait and use those with this yarn just to try them out, see if I like them. So that's that. And then on top of all that, I still have my Yarn Club for the Gods. So the June colorway is Aphrodite, and it is so pink and pretty. I love it. I'm not a big fan of pink, but I really enjoy this one. I knit a sweater for Coley of Pasley Knits, who dyes this yarn, as a sample for her last winter in this colorway. And at first I was like, oh, it's pink. But then after working with it, it was like, oh, this is so beautiful. I kind of want a sweater in this colorway. Did not end up getting a sweater quantity of this color, but I did start my sock. So I did the 20 rounds of a 2x2 cuff, and I started the leg this morning. So I am doing the pattern Rhinebeck Roomies by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. She's done a couple of these for camp, and I really loved the way it looked. So I thought this would be a great time to use it. I love that it's slightly textured, but still lets the colors just pop through. So really enjoying this one. Definitely check it out. So this is not necessarily a project I would take with me places, just because this does take a little more concentration as far as like what row I'm on. So that one would probably be one to stay home that I work on here, but bumping things, but still really enjoyable. So let me grab yarns for the rest of camp so I can show you plans that I have for the next couple months. All right, so like I said, I came up with a list of all the yarns I wanted to work for or work with during camp. And then I kind of just picked which ones I wanted to do first. I did like a spin the wheel type thing, just to get a random order. So this is kind of the groupings that I put them in. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna just start a new sock as I'm finishing socks, or if I'm gonna like finish all of my round 1 socks and then cast on all 3 of my round 2 socks. I haven't gotten that far into like my planning, but let me show you the rest of the yarn that I'm hoping to work with during camp. So first off, and this is, like I said, round 2, I'll probably cast on all 3 at the same time. We'll see. So this is round 2. So this is Hickory Lane, which you guys know, I love Lisa and Hickory Lane. This one is called Hearts on Fire, and she did this last February. And I had bought this colorway, and she had posted pictures of this like zebra stripe. So I immediately texted her. I'm like, hey, I didn't see the zebra one on the website. Did I miss it? And she goes, oh no, that was something that my supplier has sent as a sample. So I just dyed it up for fun. I'll send it to you. I said, awesome, I want it. So this isn't a base that she carries in her shop, but I love those little pops of black. There's, I think the dog rolled all over this, but there's a bunch of fur all over it. So this is the first one. It's on 100% superwash merino. It's sock yarn, 100 grams, 451 yards, pretty typical. Next is from Grenouille Co. This is the full skein of yarn that was in her Christmas box last year. It's called Gormenghast. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'll show you the label. But I've just been saving this for kind of summer sock camp. So this one's 75-25 merino nylon, pretty typical, 463 yards, 100 grams. And then the last one is the sock yarn that I got for my Fiber Friends sock swap. So I got paired up with Mary, and she's on the East Coast. Lovely lady, super sweet. So she sent me this. So this is called Bertie Bots, and it's from the Perfect Stitch Fiber Co, which is not a dyer I am known or that I know of, but I looked up her stuff and she looks really nice. So this is on their Chief base, 75-25, 100 yards, 100 grams, 437 yards. And she picked this one because I said I liked M&Ms and I like cookies. So she said, this reminded me of M&M cookies. And I was like, yes, this does look like M&M cookies. She also sent me some soap, some stitch markers, a whole bag of M&Ms, like the big size, which I'm not sharing. So I'm really excited to cast these on. Woo. I keep bumping this table. So for those 3, I haven't decided on patterns. I think for this one, I'll do like a rib sock just so I can get a little bit of stretch, but still get get that color and texture to pop. For this one, I'll probably do some sort of pattern sock. Which one, I have no idea, but I'll find one. And then I don't know what I want to do with this one. I haven't decided yet, but that's round 2. Round 3 is another Hickory Lane. This is button-down flannel on her cashmere sock. I love those like fire reds. I kind of wish I'd gotten this as a sweater quantity. I think that would make a great sweater. I don't know what pattern I do. Most of these I don't know what pattern I will do. I figure that out as I go. We've got Red Stag Fiber. This is the Sunset Cliffs. I got this in San Diego. This was the exclusive colorway for the yarn shop down there. So got that on my trip. So ready to cast those on. And then I got Nomadic Yarns. This is called Spring Fling. This is a self-striping yarn. So it looks a little crazy in the skein, but as you knit it, it's gonna create big chunks of color blocks. So I don't know if I'm gonna just do like a rib sock or if I'm gonna do like some sort of pattern. Haven't decided yet. So that's round 3. And then round 4 is Bella Filato. Swallows and Damson. This is on her BFL tweed sock, which I love the little neps of tweed in here. So I think those are gonna make great socks. We've got Woolberry. This is her coastal yarn. This is from their road trip from last year before. So this is merino cashmere. And then I've got, dropped one. I've got one more Nomadic Yarns. This one is called Ginny Weasley. So that is the extent of my summer sock camp, not including the other 3 skeins I have for Yarn Club for the Gods. So a lot of work planned. We'll see how much I actually get done. But I can't wait to show you guys as things get finished and things get cast on and worked up, what that looks like. So that's it for today. Hope you're having a great beginning of June. If school is out for you, have a great summer break. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Find ways to be kind, and I will see you soon.